Welcome back, my friends. We go back this time to 1940, 1941, the classic days of the jazz standard and Billie Holiday, who this song was written for, Lover Man. So let's take a look at this classic jazz standard and see what we can do as a singer-songwriter in a solo gig. Okay? So first of all, the original key of the tune is D minor, and we're going to play this song through. Basically, we need to learn 8 bars of the verse, and then we need to learn 8 bars of the bridge. Of course, being a 32-bar standard, that's pretty much all we need to know. A couple of tricks here and there, and we've got ourselves another big hit for our repertoire. So let's take a look. We're going to start it off in the key of D minor. Okay, so we're basically going 2 chords per measure. And if you're into bar chords, you can play the D minor bar chord. Again, I'm playing the thumb, usually on the top 2 or 3 strings for the bass, and using my 3 fingers for my jazz comping. And those are either going to be on the top 3 strings or the 4-3-2 strings to give me that nice close harmony. Okay, so let's go through the first 8 and we'll talk about the chords. Okay, so we're going to go D minor 7 for 2, and then G7 or G13, adding the little pinky in. Okay, again with the fingers I'm playing 4-3-2 with my 3 fingers and using the bass on the 5th and 6th string with the thumb. Okay, so I've got D minor for 2, I don't know why, and repeat that she's feeling so sad. Okay, and of course changing the pronouns depending on what relationship you're talking about here. I'm going to be singing this a la Tony Bennett. Okay, so we're going, I don't know why that she's feeling so sad. Okay, and now we're going to change that G7, a dominant 7, to a minor 7, because now we're going 2-5 in the key of F. So we're in G minor. I long to try, or she longs to try, something she's never had. So instead of going to the C9 here, I'm going to bring it up to the 8th fret this time, okay, on the 2nd time through. So we're going to go, she longs to try something she's never had. Because the next chord is going to be the F7, which I'm going to play as a triangle here on the 7th and 8th fret, okay, 8 and 7, right? And I'm going to also be adding in the little finger here to get the flat, or get the sharp 9, okay? So this is kind of interesting because we're playing the F7 with the major 3rd, and then we're playing the sharp 9 down here with the minor 3rd. So we've got major 3rd and minor 3rd clashing here, which that bluesiness, that unsteadiness of the 3rd is ever prominent here. Okay? So we've got never had no kissing, and the little rhythm, or the little lead is right there in the chord, right? There's that 3rd, and then we're going to play, okay, da 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 da, da 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 da. And now this is a classic jazz progression here, where we're going to go from the F7, we're going to swap these 2 fingers, first 2 fingers, we're going to play the triangle, and then we're going to play the L shape to get the B7, and then down to the B flat 7. So we're playing F, B to B flat, okay, so basically that's a circle of 4ths there, and you can run that down all the way down the neck, right? But instead of just playing straight circle of 4ths, we're adding a little passing 7th before we get to that circle, right? And that's a nice cool little feel that you can add into this tune. So we've got never had no kissing, and then we can repeat that, oh, oh, what I've been, and then go to the top string, missing. So we could do a little chordal lead thing here if you want. We could go, never had no kissing, oh, what what I've been missing. Okay? And then we're going to go to the B. We're in the B flat 7, right? Now we're going to the B minor 7 with just a bar. Love a man, oh. And now we're going to the E half diminished 7 to the E diminished 7. Where can you be? To the F. Notice the nice close movement here. E half diminished, right? Which is the 2 and the 2. I like to consider that as like, it's like a stairs there, right? You're just taking a step. So it's half diminished 7, diminished 7. We're just swapping these two fingers. And remember, the E half diminished 7 to the E diminished 7. E diminished 7 would be E, G, B flat, D flat. D flat also C sharp, right? So when we rearrange those notes, you would find that that would actually be an A7 with a flat 9. So an E half diminished to an E diminished is also sort of an E minor to an A, right? Similar with a little more jazzy sound. Where can you be? And then we're finishing off with an F. Now you could come down here to an F major 7, but since we're up here, we're just going to go to the F. And it's just an F, and I'm only playing 4, 5, 4, and 2. Okay? You could play the open 3. It would give you a G, and you'd get an extra second in there, which could sound okay. Okay? But we don't need it, so we're just going to play like that. And now the turnaround to do another 8 is just going to be the same thing again. The E half diminished 7, the E diminished 7, and then back to the D minor, which is right there, right? So this is very cool. If you haven't played with diminished 7ths and half diminished 7ths, I highly recommend them. And they're so easy to do, and they add so much. And there's so much substitution you can do. And of course, the diminished 7th with 4 notes, by flatting any one of those notes, sending you into a completely different key, very powerful chords. So now we'll do the second 8, and we'll show you it's exactly the same. We're going to tweak it a little bit at the end so we can move to the bridge. The night is cold and she's feeling so sad. She longs to try something she's never had. Got a moon above her, but no one to love her. Love a man, oh, where can you be? Okay, on to the F again. And now, instead of doing that E diminished thing, we're going to go to the B minor 7 and then the E9. Okay? And that's going to take us to the bridge. So a little bit different on the ending of that second 8. Now the other thing we could do on that B minor 7 is we could add in that minor 6, which is a G, right? And we could do a B minor 7 with that flat 6, and then we could go to the E9. So it's going to almost take us da da da, which will bring us right into the bridge. So we've got okay, and now we're in the A minor and into the bridge. Now the bridge is going to be that classic bass dropping A minor with the major 7, and then the A minor 7. Okay, we've done this in Funny Valentine, we've done this in songs like Beatles' Michelle, we've done this in Stairway to Heaven, right? So many times. And here again, way back in 1940, Loverman is doing a beautiful job with it. So we've got, I've heard it said that the thrill of romance. And if you want, you can use that little finger on that 8th fret, which gives you that melody note. Okay, not necessary, not required, but makes it sound a little bit nicer. Okay, if you keep that down. So we're going to go, she's heard it said that the thrill of romance. We're going right to the D9 there. Okay? And then G major 7. The A minor, B7, B minor 7. And then the A minor, and then the D9. And now we're going to do the same thing on the G. So we're going to go G minor, G minor major 7, G minor 7 to the C9. Okay, so we're doing the same thing a step apart. F major 7, and now we can do an E minor to an A sus A7, or we could come back up here to the F, and we could do the E half diminished to the E diminished. And then we're back to the last verse. Okay, so you've got your choice there. So the bridge is basically the A minor series and then the G minor series. So let's see how that goes together, right? So we've got, she's heard it said that the thrill of romance can be like a heavenly dream. She goes to bed with a prayer that you'll make love heavenly. Strange as it seems. Okay, nothing different there, similar to what we did before. And now we're back into the final verse. Someday you'll meet and you'll dry all her tears and whisper sweet little things in her ears, hugging and a kissing. Oh, what you've been missing, love of mine. Oh, where can you be? Okay, and that's the tune. So a nice 32-bar tune, some really cool chords in there, some nice little patterns that you can learn and add to your playing. Now this is a pretty slow bluesy tune. You could sell it well with your voice at the right time in the gig, but if you wanted to pick it up a bit, you could do those same chords with a little bit of Travis picking. I don't know why, but she's feeling so sad. She longs to try something she's never had, hugging and a kissing. Oh, what she's been missing, love no matter where can you be. Okay, so you could also implement something like that, some Travis picking that we've talked about in the past in other lessons. Again, my friends, a classic tune. Add this to your repertoire. You'll be getting a little bit more classy than you ever thought possible. I hope that helps you out. Again, until next time, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will continue on our journey through lots of tunes, great tunes through the ages, and keep on playing that guitar.